will be giving you an introduction. Brandi will be giving you questions and statistics, and Brittany will be following up with closure. Bullying in the United States is increasing slowly but with major effects from the bully to the victims. Some say this is one of the leading causes to suicide in the United States. In the United States alone, there are 13% of those who are bullies, 10.6% of those who are victims, and 6.3% of those who are bullies and victims. In this case study, we examined the association between bullying, depression, and suicide ideation. Also, where did most bullying occur, and whose job is it to watch over or control bullying?
Bullying is any unwanted aggressive behavior among school-aged children that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. The behavior is repeated or has the potential to be repeated over time. In order to be considered bullying, the behavior must be aggressive and include an imbalance of power, which is kids who bully use their power, such as physical strength, access to embarrassing information, or popularity to control or harm others. Repetition. Bullying behaviors happen more than once or have the potential to happen more than once. Bullying includes actions such as making threats, spreading rumors, attacking someone physically or verbally, and excluding someone from a group on purpose. There are 3 types of bullying, which include verbal bullying, which is teasing, name-calling, inappropriate sexual comments, taunting, and threatening to cause harm. Social bullying or relational bullying, which involves hurting someone's reputation or relationships. That also includes leaving someone out on purpose, telling other children not to be friends with someone, spreading rumors about someone, or embarrassing someone in public. And the last type of bullying is physical bullying, which involves hitting, kicking, pinching, spitting, tripping, pushing, taking or breaking someone's things, or making mean or rude hand gestures. Our first question is, do you think bullying is becoming a socially accepted epidemic, and what extra efforts do you believe can or should be taken in order to prevent the bullying of individuals?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time?
Do you think bullying is becoming a socially accepted epidemic, and what extra efforts do you believe can or should be taken in order to prevent the bullying of individuals?
I don't think it's like becoming acceptable. I just think that okay, they're trying to do preventions like when they made cyberbullying and stuff like that. Like they're trying to make it illegal in some states. So then I don't think they're doing efforts and stuff. But at the end of the day, some people do make excuses for it, which I feel is no excuses. I myself was bullied in my younger days. So legitly bullied. Like it was crazy. I got beat up and everything. So I know how it feels to be bullied. And for my case, they made an excuse because the girl who did it, she was a big athlete, and she was her mama worked in the school and stuff like that, so they protected her in a way. But they make excuses for it. But so I guess in a way, yes, it can be socially acceptable if that's what you said. But I feel they should do more to prevent it, because if I wasn't a strong-minded person and had thick skin, some people take it to heart. I know a friend who committed suicide when I was in middle school because he was being bullied. So it really does affect people in different ways. So anyway, it is becoming socially acceptable, and I think I need to do more stuff to try and prevent it.
Okay. Some statistics we have are American schools harbor approximately 2.1 million bullies and 2.7 million of their victims. 1 in 7 students in grades kindergarten through 12th grade is either a bully or a victim of bullying. 15% of all school absenteeism is directly related to fears of being bullied at school. According to bullying statistics, 1 out of every 10 students who drops out of school does so because of repeated bullying, and 71% of students report incidents of bullying as a problem at their school. Another one of our questions is, who do you think is responsible for monitoring bullying?
Do y'all think it's supposed to be parents, teachers, friends? Who's supposed to watch over who's getting bullied? Or is it everybody's responsibility?
I think it's everyone's responsibility. If I see somebody getting bullied, then I should say something about it.
Right.
That's just anyone. This is my opinion.
But like at the same time, if you don't know that the person's getting bullied, then it's not really much you can do. Because for the longest I didn't tell my mama, and she didn't know. So I mean, if you don't know that the person's getting bullied, then what can people do? You know what I'm saying? So it's also it's responsibility of the person to actually go and tell, like, hey, this is happening to me. Because if you don't, there's nothing can be done about it. Because in most cases, that's what happened. And by the time you find out, it's too late. So I feel like
What do y'all think makes the what do y'all think makes the person not speak up? Of what?
ask the other person.
Honestly, I've always wondered, like, when people get bullied and they're scared to tell, it's like they're scared to tell because they don't want to get beat up, or if that's the case, if they're getting beat up. But if they, whether they tell or not, it's like the bullying
It's not.
is not, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's
Like to
always-
get worse.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt it get worse if you tell someone. I doubt it get worse, but what it does do, it makes people aware.
Yeah.
So like when it will also make the person who is bullying you second guess, because if they know you told, then they be like, well, I mean, it might reduce to only verbal bullying instead of abuse, because at the end of the day, if you don't tell, you can die. You can die. Like I have friends, I don't have friends, but I know people who bullied and honestly would die. And it's because people didn't tell, they didn't say nothing, and they just took it too far.
Okay, well, speaking of bullying and suicide, bullying is also linked with depression and suicide among American youth. According to the CDC, suicide is the third leading cause of death of youth between ages 10 and 24. It results in approximately 4,400 lives lost each year. While deaths from youth suicide are only a part of the problem, more young people survive suicide attempts than actually die. A nationwide survey of youth in grades 9 through 12 in public and private schools in the United States found that 15% of students report seriously considering suicide, 11% reported creating a plan, and 7% reported trying to take their own life in the 12 months preceding the survey. Each year, approximately 149,000 youth between the ages of 10 and 24 receive medical care for self-inflicted injuries at emergency departments across the U.S. Nearly 30% reported depression, and among those who frequently bully others, 19% reported signs of depression. Our last and final question is, other than physical, verbal, relational, and cyberbullying, what other types of bullying do you think there is?
Can you repeat that?
Other than physical, verbal, relational, and cyberbullying, what other types of bullying do you think there is?
Nobody.
How many times a day?
Relational, cyber, and what else?
Physical and verbal.
Physical.
Relational meaning like,
Social.
I think you can be bullied. I don't know if it goes into any of the ones you said, but I think you can be bullied by your parents, obviously. I believe that there are certain situations where, like with daughters and mothers, I think it's more with daughters and mothers, where a mom can be somewhat jealous of her daughter. I've seen situations like that, which is crazy, but, and bullied her, like if she was, not big enough or not small enough. So I think you can be bullied by your parents as well. And even people higher up, teachers bully, pastors bully, and I'm in church, I'm not saying like all churches, but you can be, I think bullying is anything that tears down somebody's self-esteem is bullying. So anybody can be bullied by anybody, including your parents and, people like that.
Okay, we just want to leave off with a couple of more statistics. States with the highest level of bullying, California is the #1 state, following New York, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and Washington. And a couple of more statistics, 37% of teens who reported being bullied at school 17% of students bully others often. 10% of students had rumors or gossip spread about them, and 20% are physically bullied, and 6% are threatened.
Where did you get your stats from?
CDC.
Okay.
And I'm gonna close with bullying. Bullying is a huge epidemic, constantly on the rise, not just pertaining to the U.S., but bullying happens everywhere. Bullies often choose like the ones who are quiet or kids who have low self-esteem that won't really speak up for themselves. Not everyone realizes how big of an issue bullying really is, and that it's not likely to come to an end anytime soon unless we do something about it. Results that come from bullying is often kids missing days from school, poor grades, they drop out, depression, or oftentimes they even commit suicide if it gets to that point. In other cases, victims of bullying, they may even act out violently on their peers for revenge. I feel that everyone should help put an end to bullying, like no matter how you try to help, just whether it's speaking up or, just telling somebody else. Everyone should just try to help put a stop to it. Bullying is something that no one should ever have to go through, but unfortunately it happens to children, and not everyone gets through it. Some ways to prevent bullying is you can step in and try to stop it before it happens. You can also, start a bullying policy at your school. That way there'll be teachers and grown-ups to, help look out for students, for ones who may be bullied, have consequences for bullies if they find out who they are. But the most important method I think there is to educate others about bullying, as well as the potential victims. Let them know things they can do to put an end to bullying. Bullying is a serious crime that everyone needs to put an end to. Any questions?